Cave with its many Buddhas. Back in Yangon, we begin our voyage up the road to Mandalay. With the great Shwedagon Pagoda fading in the distance, we sail some 70 miles through the vast delta region with its maze of creeks and tributaries to reach the great Irrawaddy River. At a sharp bend in the river is PA, an important point for cargo moving between upper and lower Myanmar. Inland from there to the east is the old center of one of the most powerful post-Bagan kingdoms, Town Gu. Today it is a typical bustling Burmese town with thriving cottage industries. But the main source of income and prosperity for Town Gu is the timber industry. To the west of Town Gu is the Sanye teak forest. Here you can see the well-managed teak forest. You can see working elephants, logging the teak with their personal drivers who care for them for life. Directly west of PA is the exotic beach resort of Napoli Beach, one of 4 beach resorts along the Myanmar coast. Lined by swaying palms and casuarina trees, this pristine beach is ideal for relaxing, swimming, snorkeling, and watching the local fishermen bring in their nets. There are several lovely hotels lining the beach, and it makes a great place to relax after the rigors of travel. Traveling ever northward, we find the past, Bagan. In 1855, Scotsman Henry Yule wrote, "As seen from the river, it might pass for a scene on another planet. So fantastic and unearthly is the architecture." Beginning in the 11th century, King Anoiter converted his people to Theravada Buddhism, and a phenomenal building program continued for the next 200 years. What remains today is only a shadow of what once was. Yet what does remain is thrilling to the modern visitor. The perfect way to appreciate the size and magnitude of Bagan is from the vantage point of a hot air balloon. Enjoy the bird's eye view of these ancient marvels. One of the finest and largest temples is Ananda. Symbolizing the endless wisdom of Buddha, Ananda was built by King Shansita in the 12th century. One of the mysteries surrounding Ananda Temple is the story of the giant blue diamond stolen from the forehead of this magnificent Buddha. The stone later surfaced in India in the 1600s and thereafter became known as the Hope Diamond. One of the oldest yet most spectacular is Shwedagon Pagoda. It contains the collarbone, frontal bone, and the tooth of Buddha. The style of this pagoda is the prototype for all succeeding pagodas in the country. All the temples were built with extraordinary craftsmanship and care. The caring attention to detail and beauty in these antiquities is unforgettable. Many of the temples were covered with beautiful paintings on the interior ceilings, but only a few can still be seen. The most massive is the Damayanji Temple, which is enshrouded in its own mysteries. It is best explained by a local historian and guide, U Saw Waik.
They totally blocked the first corridor inside. They blocked with the bricks. Nobody knew the reason. The architect and the king, they placed the Buddha outside. This is not the right place for the Buddha. Buddha should be behind the corridor. But we tried to break open to go and see inside the corridor, but we found only the bricks. No treasures, no skeletons, only the bricks there.
Shrouded in the unknown, Bagan. Rising out of the plain above Bagan is a mystical peak, Mount Popa, the home to the powerful spirits of Myanmar, the Nats. A steep climb to the top reveals an intricate complex of monasteries, stupas, and views of the lush terrain. The large shrine at the bottom of the hill houses representations of the 37 most important Nats. Popular Nat festivals and musical performances are a powerful way to attract and appease Nats, as Nats like loud and colorful music. A short flight to the east of Bagan, up into the Shan Mountains, are the floating villages of Inle Lake. Rimmed by blue mountain silhouettes, these clear waters are a surreal landscape of villages perched on stilts. Whole villages in the middle of this large lake. A liquid maze of canals. Floating farms, floating markets. The Intha people have long been using their legs to row their flat-bottomed canoes through these crystalline waters. Standing is a practical solution for spotting fish. The technique has long been perfected, and competitions are an exciting event. In addition to farming and fishing, there are skilled artisans in many trades. Like the weaving of luxurious ikat silk, the silk yarns are dyed in predefined patterns, which then form marvelous designs when woven. Life on the lake follows traditional ancient patterns, with temples and monasteries incorporated into these floating towns. Around the lake are various ethnic groups: Shan, Kaya, Pao, Palau, Padang, and others, as seen at this traditional 5-day market in Hiho. The Padang ladies wear stacks of brass rings that force the collarbone down, giving the appearance of an elongated neck. Besides being an element of beauty, the rings are practical in protection from tiger attacks while working in the fields. Above Inle Lake, we visit the nearby capital of Shan State, Taunji. November is the annual Festival of Lights, a competition of hot air balloon mastery. An abundance of steaming exotic food always accompany any Myanmar festival. In the evening, more elaborate balloons create an unbelievable spectacle as fireworks launch directly off the balloons as they make their journey into the night sky. South of bustling Taunji is the recently discovered pagodas at Kaku. Here, uncovered after centuries of overgrowth, were found thousands of pagodas and stupas, all built close together to create a stunning sight. From Heiho, it is an easy flight to visit the famed Golden Triangle. You'll land at Changtone, built around a small lake and dotted with temples and British colonial buildings. In the surrounding area are small villages of different ethnic groups, each speaking their own languages: the Wa, Shan, Aka, Aku, Lahu, Pa'o, and more. It's worth a visit to Taichalek, which is located right on the Thai-Myanmar border. Taichalek on one side and Sai Mei in Thailand on the other. It's a bustling town of shops and merchants. Downriver a bit, you can see the actual Golden Triangle, where Laos, Thailand, and Myanmar meet along the Mekong River. In the mountains to the west of Inle Lake is the old British hill station of Kalaw. Kalaw still retains that colonial-era feeling with its stately old homes resting among the pines. The mountains surrounding Kalaw are carpeted with a rich patchwork of green. An ox cart ride, hike, or even an elephant trek gives you a personal experience with this unspoiled land. Palong villages are dotted throughout the hills, the people farming on the steep slopes. You may even encounter a local wedding at one of the remote villages.